Hello beaders, welcome to Beachside Bead Boutique. My name is Jerry. Today we're taking the beautiful Strawberry Soirée collection from Bargain Bead Box and giving it a Beachside Bead Boutique makeover. Instead of creating a traditional beaded necklace, I'm incorporating a bandana, handmade wire details, strawberry accents, and a handmade clasp. This project is whimsical, a little chaotic, completely unconventional, and packed with boho charm. So if you're ready to turn ordinary supplies into something unexpected, grab your beads, grab your bandana, and let's get beading. So to complete the Strawberry Soirée Boho Bandana Necklace, you are going to need, of course, a bandana. You will need some fabric fusion or whichever kind of fabric glue you have. I have 20 gauge silver wire, some silver jump rings, needle nose pliers, round nose pliers, flush cutters, bent nose pliers. I also have a rotary tool, which is optional, a pair of scissors, and then of course the beautiful beads from the Strawberry Soirée collection. Also, you will need a pair of nylon jaw pliers. First, I'm going to start by laying my bandana out flat, and then I'm going to use my rotary tool to cut it diagonally in half. And of course, you don't have to have a rotary tool. If you don't have that, you can use scissors. And now that the bandana is cut in half, I'm going to roll it up. So I'm going to start with the longer end and roll it to the shorter end. I'm going to use some of my fabric fusion to spread on the bandana as I go, so it won't unravel as I'm rolling it up. Now you could take your time as you roll it, but you know me, I don't necessarily do everything neat, so I'm not looking for a particularly neat wrap, or neat roll, as I should say. And I'm going to brush on a little bit more of my fabric fusion as I go. And you could brush on more fabric fusion wherever you feel that you need it, but we are going to wrap wire around the bandana, so that's going to hold it in place as well. And now we have the base of the necklace ready, and we can go ahead and decorate it. And we are going to use the 9-piece pendant that came in the Strawberry Soirée collection, and I attached it to 20 gauge wire. We're not going to use it yet, but I just wanted to show you. And I'm going to use a handmade clasp, and I have a video where I show how I do this. And it's just an S-curve with a spiral at the end, so it is really easy to make. But I already had this on hand because I made a couple of them. Now I'm going to take my silver 20 gauge wire, and I'm going to cut about 4 feet of this. Now I did cut 3 feet, but I didn't have enough to go around the whole bandana. So it is easier if you just have one piece as you're doing it, so you don't have to cut another piece and then start again at another spot. So yeah, so just cut about 4 feet of the wire. Now I'm going to use my nylon jaw pliers just to smooth out any kinks and my wire. And actually, I decided I wanted to put the clasp on this end first before I start wrapping the wire around the necklace. So we are going to do that. And I'm going to cut 2 more pieces on my 20 gauge wire at approximately 7 inches each piece, and that is to put the clasps on. And again, smooth out your wire with your nylon jaw pliers. And I'm using a ring from a toggle clasp to attach to one end, and then my hook, the hook that I made, is going to attach to the ring as the closure. So I'm going to stick the ring through the bandana and take the bandana down a little bit just so it overlaps with the other side. So just like that. And then I'm going to take my wire, the 7-inch piece that we just cut, and I'm going to create a little coil on one end. And now I'm going to take that coil and secure it to the bandana right underneath the ring from the toggle clasp. And I'm just going to wrap it around the bandana. So that's going to hold that ring in place for the closure. And again, this is not a neat wrap. I'm just going to wrap it around the bandana several times to make sure that the ring is secure. And once your closure is secure, you're going to go ahead and take your round nose pliers and make a little coil at the other ends of the wire. And make sure there's no sharp edges sticking up from the wire. And now I'm taking the wire that I cut at 4 feet to wrap around the bandana. So I am going to create a coil on one end. And then I'm going to secure the coil onto the bandana right underneath the wire that we had just wrapped for the toggle ring. So I'm just placing it right underneath that wire. And I'm going to bend that coil onto the bandana. And then I'm just going to start slightly wrapping it to get it started. And then we are going to add beads to the wire as we go. So now that I got the wire started, I'm going to go ahead and just start placing some beads onto the wire. And this is not going to be in any specific pattern. You can put as many beads as you want to. And I'm going to place the beads on top of the bandana so that it is face out, so that you'll be able to see them as you wear the necklace. And then I'm going to take the wire and just wrap it around the bandana one time. And then I'm going to add some more beads. So you'll see as we go. And then straighten your bandana out as well. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but you don't want it all bunched in together. So see, now I'm just taking the wire and then wrapping it around the bandana without any beads. And then my next wrap, I'm going to take some beads and wrap it around. And that's how I'm going to do it around the whole necklace. So I'm going to alternate between beads, and then the next wrap is going to be just a solid wrap of no beads and then beads. So you'll see as I go. But of course, you could put beads on the whole thing. You could make the whole thing, all beaded up how you want to. And I'm just going to continue doing that around the whole bandana. And just hold your beads in place as you wrap the wire around so that the beads stay on the top of the bandana. And since this is repetitive and just repeating the same steps over and over, I'm going to go ahead and continue. And then I'll just come back and show you what I have when I'm almost done. Now this is the point where my wire ran out because like I said, I didn't cut it long enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and create a coil with that end of the wire and push it down into the fabric. And then I'm going to have to cut another piece of wire to finish wrapping the necklace. And then I'm going to smooth the wire out with my nylon jaw pliers. And then again, I'm going to go ahead and create a coil on one end and then place it onto the bandana. And I'm going to continue wrapping and adding my beads in the same fashion as we have been doing. And it seems like since I had to cut another piece of wire to finish wrapping, it kind of threw me off. It seems like I'm having a hard time now. So that's why I said it's just a lot easier to have one, long piece. So yeah, just make sure that you cut your wire long enough. So like I said, 4 feet should be enough. I mean, maybe you want to cut it even longer than that just to make sure that you do have enough. And I'm going to stop adding my beads roughly in the same spot as where I started on the other side. So they'll be pretty even. See, I'm just trying to measure it up. And when it's looking the way that you want it to, you could go ahead and take your round nose pliers and create a coil on that end of the wire to finish it off, just like we did when we started. And this is how it looks. I think it looks so cute. I love the little strawberry charms. I think they are so cute and they just stand out so perfectly. And of course, we do still need to add our pendant to the center, but we are going to do that in just a minute. First, we're going to add the closure to the other side. So this is the little spiral hook that I made. And I'm just going to pull my bandana through the bottom of the coil on the clasp. And then I'm going to fold the bandana over and secure it with my 20 gauge wire, just like I did with the other side. And cut about a 5-inch piece of wire. You just need enough to wrap around the bandana a couple times to secure your clasp. And then, of course, I am going to create a coil on one end and then secure that to my bandana and then wrap the wire around. And guess what? I am going to create another coil at the end of the wire after I finish wrapping it. And make sure the wire is secure to the bandana and that your clasp is not going anywhere. And this is pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. And this is really cute. I really like how this is turning out. And we are going to go ahead and attach the focal piece. I really like the handmade clasp. And now I'm taking the pendant, and this is the 9-piece pendant from the Strawberry Soirée collection. And I have the pendant hanging on 20 gauge wire. So I'm just going to take the wire and wrap it around the bandana when I have it positioned where I want it. And I do want the pendant to hang down slightly from the bandana. So I want there to be just a little bit of space in between the pendant and the bandana. And I'm just going to wrap the wire around the bandana to attach the pendant. So it's just really easy. And now we have the pendant easily attached to the bandana. And I really, really like how this is looking. It's very cute and very easy. And you know, I didn't think the necklace was chaotic enough, so I am going to add some of my chaos clusters to the necklace. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So what you're going to need is some head pins and then just an assortment of the beads from Strawberry Soirée collection or whatever beads you want to use. And this is just going to be random, so I'm just going to place my beads onto the head pin. And we are going to form a loop. So I'm taking my round nose pliers just right above the last bead. And I'm going to bend this toward me and then bend that back around the top ring of the round nose pliers. Take the round nose pliers out and reposition them to the bottom ring. And then see, now I'm going to wrap the wire around the wire that the beads are on. See, so now that is forming our loop. So that's all there is to it. Straighten out your loop and then take your flush cutters and cut off that piece there. And then grab your pliers and tuck in your sharp edge. You don't want anything sharp sticking out of your chaos cluster that's going to be on your necklace, because if you know somebody feels that, it's going to be very uncomfortable. And I'm just going to go ahead and make some more chaos clusters the exact same way using an assortment of the beads, you know, whatever. It doesn't really matter. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, probably making about 8 of them. And then I'll come back and show you what I have, and then we'll place them on the necklace. So here's the chaos clusters. Very pretty. Just a little bit of sparkle and a little bit of chaos. Very pretty. I love them. So now I'm going to take some jump rings and attach the chaos clusters to the necklace. And this is how you open and close a jump ring. You just want to go up and down. So just like that. And I'm just going to dangle my chaos clusters from the wire section where we don't have any beads. So I'm going to put 4 chaos clusters on each side of the necklace. So I'm going to attach my jump ring to the wire, like I said, where there's no beads. And then I'm going to take my chaos cluster and add it to the jump ring. And then I'm going to close the jump ring up. I'm going to continue adding my chaos clusters to the necklace. And then I will come back and show you what I have. So I finished adding the chaos clusters, and like I said, I did put 4 on each side, and I really love the movement that the chaos clusters gives to the necklace. It's that little bit of chaos that the necklace needed, and I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful with the handmade clasp, the pretty chaos clusters, and of course, the beautiful pendant from the Strawberry Soirée collection. Okay, beaders, well, here is our finished Strawberry Soirée Boho Bandana Necklace. I love how the bandana adds texture and personality, while the strawberry accents and gemstone drops bring everything together into a fun, wearable statement piece. And of course, I couldn't resist finishing it off with a handmade clasp. That makes it so artisan. And of course, the addition of the chaos clusters. I mean, you know, I have to add that. I mean, that's my signature. So I really, really like the chaos clusters. And let me know in the comments what you think of this design and whether you wear a necklace like this. If you enjoyed today's project, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future tutorials. Thank you so much for spending some creative time with me today. And remember, let's keep it messy, let's keep it boho, and as always, let's keep beading. I hope you all have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye-bye.